Hi, so we're here with the screenwriter of Bumblebee, Christina Hodson.
Hodson.
And first of all, I wanted to ask you, what does a female protagonist bring to a blockbuster action franchise like Transformers?
Honestly, it's more about the big picture for me. It's just about seeing girls in these kinds of roles. I think we haven't seen it often enough. We see so many movies where we just take for granted that it's the boy or the man that's at the lead going on the adventure. And I think it's just important we start seeing more, and especially when you've got a big franchise like Bumblebee that has a big inbuilt audience. It's wonderful to be able to just introduce into the world like a new spin on that, and to see a woman at the, forgive me, but at the steering wheel.
Did you feel any pressure as far as having a female protagonist in this series?
No, it was incredibly natural to me because I always write female characters. I know women better because I was a teenage girl, so it came very naturally to me to write a teenage girl. And as soon as I got the call about working within the Transformers franchise, I knew I wanted to tell a female-driven story. So yeah, I got very lucky. Everyone seemed on board, and it was a good thing.
Were there any experiences from your own life that you sort of brought to this character of Charlie?
Yeah, so Charlie's actually based on my two nieces. My British niece, who was only 3 at the time that I came up with the movie, but was already showing that she wasn't just one thing or the other. She wasn't a girly girl and she wasn't a tomboy. She was kind of something in between. I was just talking about how much I hate the girls' toys, boys' toys idea. There is no such thing. She would play with trucks and she would also play with pink unicorns. And I wanted her to grow up in a world watching movies where she would see characters who, like her, were a combination of things. They weren't one thing or the other. They could be interested in cars, but also still be a girl. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was my American niece, Sylvie, who was 12, who sadly just lost her mother to cancer. But her relationship with her father was very much kind of the inspiration for Charlie's relationship with her dad, which to me was always kind of the beating heart of this story. That she took on his love of cars, his love of music. And I love that about Charlie. I love that she has that incredibly strong bond with her dad, and that hole in her heart is the hole that Bumblebee kind of starts to help heal.
Is there any particular scene that is one of your favorites that you wrote in this film?
Yeah, the first transformation scene, the scene where she's in the garage underneath the car and Bumblebee comes to life for the first time. And that moment where they meet, it was the first scene that Travis ever did the previs on, and I remember seeing it and just being so excited to see it come to life, because it's a very simple scene, but it's also very emotional. And Bumblebee obviously can't talk, so it's a tricky thing to pull off. Seeing that range of emotions and seeing that first meeting and seeing the wonder and the excitement in her eyes, like from fear to wonder to kind of curiosity, it was always something I was excited about.
Now, another interesting thing about this movie is, in a lot of these films, a love interest is sort of an important part of the plot. What was your thinking behind the love interest side of this film?
That I didn't want it to just be about a boy. So often the girl's role in a movie like this is to be the object of the boy's affection, or to be like trying to get with the boy, or it just isn't about that. This is about Bumblebee and Charlie, and Memo is there, and George Lenderborg did such a good job with the role. He's so winning and charming, but I love that it's not about him. It's they have a friendship that comes along with it, and they have some really fun moments, but you don't want to see them kiss at the end, I don't think. I think you want to see the moment between, Bumblebee and Charlie and that goodbye.
Female screenwriters are kind of few and far between these days, but what do you think when we get more female screenwriters, what do you think they're going to bring to the industry?
Balance, hopefully. Like we are wildly out of whack right now. The numbers are crazy, and we've got to work on fixing them. And the one thing that I can say, knowing a lot of the female screenwriters of my generation, is we are bringing more women up with us. Like that's really very much our goal. We are so grateful for the opportunities we have because there aren't that many of us. But we want there to be more of us. We want more competition. We want more women in the mix, and we won't stop until it is, until there is some kind of parity.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you.